layered poetry and storytelling. In poetry and song, metaphors and imagery convey protest, grief, or hope. What may seem like a simple nature poem will be a commentary on land loss or a celebration of ancestral wisdom. In this way, art becomes a tool for cultural survival and a method of transmitting knowledge under the radar of colonizers or oppressors. Art as community and healing. In indigenous traditions, art is also a tool for bringing the community together and for healing, whether through ceremonial dances, communal storytelling, and the collective creation of artwork. These practices reinforce bonds and heal emotional or spiritual wounds. Healing through art, dance, and music are used in healing ceremonies, restore the balance of an individual community. Creating or participating in art is seen to reconnect the spirit to the spirit world, ancestors in the natural world, offering emotional or spiritual healing in times of illness, grief, and hardship. Communal creation. Art is a solitary endeavor in indigenous cultures. Pottery, weaving, or the building of ceremonial structures involves the entire community. These collective efforts foster a sense of unity, belonging, and shared purpose. Masks embodying desires. The act of wearing a mask, whether literal or metaphorical, is seen as embodying someone else's desires, expectations, or projections instead of our true selves. In this sense, it represents a desire to fill a perceived lack or deficiency. When we wear masks, we do so to conform to societal expectations or to shield our vulnerability, crafting a persona that aligns with what others expect of us and what we imagine ourselves to be. The masks of projection of desire. Wearing a mask will symbolize our yearning to be something different than what we perceive ourselves to be. This stems from a belief that who we are at our core is not enough, or it lacks something essential: beauty, strength, success, intelligence, or acceptance. In this sense, masks become a way to convey or cover up or hide that perceived inadequacy, acting as a bridge between who we are and who we think we need to be fitted in or to be loved. In modern society, we mask ourselves through fashion, social media personas, personal titles. These masks project idealized versions of us, shaped by external desires or the need for validation. Instead of expressing who we are, individuals express what we believe we lack, whether confidence, status, or even happiness. Masks as a reflection of inauthenticity. This desire to be what we think we lack and wearing a mask to present that fundamentally in an inauthentic way of being. It distances us from our true selves. The masks become a barrier to understanding and accepting our innate qualities and strengths. Embracing our uniqueness or importance, we adopt external identities not only to serve to oppress our authenticity. From an indigenous perspective, the modern practice of wearing a mask represents a disconnect from the sacred self that is already whole and complete. Indigenous traditions emphasize harmony with nature, self, and community, where authenticity means silencing and aligning with these natural forces and embracing one's own true spirit. When we wear masks, we become someone else or something that we are not. We disrupt this harmony and prevent ourselves from accessing our full potential. The desire for external approval. The modern mask practice arises from needing external approval or recognition. This reflects an internalized belief that we must gain validation from others to feel whole. The mask represents a persona crafted for others, not us. It is an attempt to secure love, admiration, or acceptance by protecting what we think others want us to be. live. This reveals a deeper truth. Our desire to be what we lack or understand is rooted in fear of not being enough as we are. The mask symbolizes our need to please or conform, showing how we surrender our authenticity to fit into a mold that was never ours. Breaking the mask to reveal the true self. We reflect on masks to wear in our own lives. We consider what we believe we lack and how we compensate for it by the identities we construct for others to see. We begin shedding the ego and embracing our true selves by recognizing these masks. Genuine authenticity means embracing all aspects of who we are, our strengths, our weaknesses, beauty, flaws, and the natural rhythm of being. Through this acceptance, we begin to live in alignment with ourselves and the world around us. By understanding the deeper constructs of cultural aspects of wearing masks, we honor the idea that we are enough as we are without needing to adopt the desires or expectations of others. As we noted earlier, the key to this authenticity lies in the symbiotic relationship with nature, where we learn to be whole, just as the earth, sky, and all living things exist in our own unique and perfect state. From the indigenous perspective, masks are symbols of freedom and transformation when used in our sacred context. However, in modern society, the masks we wear are forced upon us as a way to conform to expectations that disconnect us from our authentic selves. This disconnection leads to a blockage of creativity, preventing the true expression of self in art. The challenge is to recognize and break free from these masks, allowing the soul to be fully expressed in all its creative potential. To live authentically, we need to go inward and reconnect with who we are, beyond appearances and societal roles. By practicing self-reflection, engaging with ancestral or spiritual wisdom, embracing vulnerability, and focusing on the creative process of recognizing external markers, we can break free from the need to dress up or mask ourselves to resist conformity. Authenticity comes from living aligned with one's true essence, the source of creative freedom. We must learn to live in a sacred symbiosis with Mother Earth and the Creator to find genuine authenticity. This involves aligning our energy with the natural world's rhythm, practicing earth-based living, and creating rituals that honor the interconnectedness of all life. By grounding ourselves in the earth and reaching the sky, we can live authentically, expressing our true selves in harmony with the world. For Indigenous peoples, art has always been much more than decoration. It is a practical tool, a form of expression, a medium for protest, a way to communicate hidden meanings. By understanding this deeper relationship to art, we can appreciate that Indigenous creativity is rooted in utility, activism, and spirituality. Whether expressing joy, sorrow, defiance, Indigenous art reflects a deep connection to community, nature, and the unseen world, carrying messages of resilience and protest that have endured for generations. Modern use of masks reflects our desire to be what we lack, the way to hide from discomfort of feeling inadequate or incomplete. By recognizing this and embracing our true selves, we live authentically, shedding the need to conform or perform for others. This path of authenticity requires introspection, courage, and a return to our natural state of being in harmony with the world around us. Doing so removes the barriers to creativity, connection, and self-expression. The casual and commercial use of masks in celebrations like Halloween and Thanksgiving reflects a deeper misunderstanding of the true significance in masks in Indigenous cultures. For Indigenous peoples, masks are sacred, crafted with reverence, and worn with purpose in rituals and ceremonies that connect us to the ancestors and spirits in the natural world. Yet today, these masks and their deeper meanings have been reduced to costumes of Indigenous peoples, sold for entertainment, and worn thoughtlessly. This trivialization erases the respect of Indigenous communities that we hold for masks, but it also distorts the cultural identity of the very people who wield these symbols as vessels of wisdom, spirituality, and power. By recognizing this misuse, we call to honor the Indigenous traditions with authenticity and respect, reclaiming the true spirit behind the masks, not subjects of the masks. You guys have a lot of questions, I'm sure.